Mounce, BBG, chapter 31, sentence 7. This is one you probably have known since childhood, so you might be tempted to do it off the cuff. I hope you'll resist that temptation, however, and really take a good look at it. It has a lot that you hopefully recognize and feel pretty good about by the time you get to the end. So, post-positive gar, you're going to pull out, bring to the front, and then so, and then your main verb, your obvious subject, and then your obvious direct object. So knowing that, you're going to say for God, and then so, and then you have agape sin. Hopefully you recognize it's coming from agapao, but then with an augment, and then with the sigma in there tells you that it's aorist active, with an epsilon nu tells you that it's third singular. That lines up really well with hothea, so you have God loved, but it's not only that he loved, he so loved tan kosmon, or the world, that, or so that, and then you have this phrase, tan huian tan managane, the Son, the only begotten, and hopefully you see that. You know ganao, right? So the monogene is the only born. All right, so only begotten or only born, and then you have from didomi, you've got this edokin, he gave. You've got the augment. You've got a third singular ending there when you see the epsilon nu, so that tells you that's he gave. So before we go back and put it all together, let's just continue on. Hina, that, in order that, all right? And in this case, it often gets translated as that, but it works as in order that. Why did he give? Why did he give? He gave in order that. And then it's, everyone is the way it gets translated, but, everyone believing in him, right? So pisteuon is a nominative masculine singular present active participle, right, from pisteuo. So that lines up with your definite article, but then to put it together with pas, everyone believing, I think works fine. Everyone believing, or everyone who believes, is the way that you're often going to hear it translated. But everyone believing, I think, is probably a better, in your case, just because you want to try and stick with that participial idea in pisteuon. So everyone believing in him might not, right? And again, that's perish, right, from apolumi, but you've got third singular ending, which goes really well with the ones believing, and you've got the may that tells you that it's going to be followed by a subjunctive more than likely. So there's your subjunctive because you have the elongated connecting vowel. So even if you don't know this verb, you should be able to spot the third singular ending, and you should be able to spot that it's a subjunctive. Okay, so everyone believing in him might not perish, but, and then echo, but look at this, echo as a subjunctive, which is what we'd expect because it's still following, still part of this, in order that, right? So you've got a third singular ending, but it's a subjunctive, again from echo, so present active subjunctive, and instead of has or he has, it's he might have, but might have, and then you have eternal life, which hopefully you know by now is very easy. Okay, so before we do the whole first sentence, let's just go ahead and finish the number 7. We'll come back. Another post-positive gar for, and then you have a negation. This is obvious subject again, so God did not. And then here, apostelin, hopefully you recognize this is from apostello, but you've got an augment, you've got an iota in there. You have a lambda missing, and then you've got a epsilon nu, which tells you that it's third singular, so you got subject-verb agreement with God. But the fact of the matter is here, this little part in here should tell you that you're dealing with an aorist. So God did not send, make sure that you translate it as an aorist. The Son, right, into the world, right? So that's easy enough. God did not send the Son into the world in order that, and here, guess what? You've got another subjunctive, and same thing, third singular with the elongated connecting vowel. So hopefully you recognize that as from Krino, which is I judge. So he might judge ton cosmon, the world, but in order that, and then here you have the subject of ho cosmos. So the world, and you have another subjunctive, same thing, third singular, right? So that the world, in order that the world might be saved, because it's also a passive. Hopefully you recognize that with that theta coming from sozo, right? So theta should tell you it's passive. This ending, because it's an elongated connective vowel, should tell you that it's subjunctive. So the world might be saved diautu through him. Okay, so all the way back to the beginning. For God so loved the world that, or so that the only begotten Son he gave, or that he gave the only begotten Son, in order that everyone believing in him might not perish, but might have eternal life. For God did not send the Son into the world in order that he might judge the world, but in order that the world might be saved through him.